mid-2006, I suddenly caught the social media bug. I had gone to a conference and somebody started talking about this stuff. I was following some blogs that were talking about the rise of consumer-generated content and where this was all going. And, you know, having been someone who had established my own blogs at that point, I saw the potential power in it and the potential ease for more people to get involved in this as it advanced. And I attempted to build a social media practice within that B2B advertising and marketing organization, and boy, that was like hitting my head against a brick wall. You know, they were all too concerned with the revenue model. How are we going to make money on this? This isn't going to stick. You know, this is just a fad. Okay, fine. So I left, and I went to work for a strategic consulting firm that specialized in social media advisory services to big brands. Okay, I was one of 5 or 6 people there at the time, and we were working with American Airlines and Coca-Cola and Panasonic and some other startups as well, but those are some of our signature brands. I was with them for about a year, continuing to write, continuing to be a practitioner of the stuff I was actually coaching companies on. And Ford came calling in December of '07, and because the company I was at was down to 3 people, and we were all virtual. I was in Boston, one was in Connecticut, and another was in New York. We'd meet every day via Skype video call, or, you know, we'd be IMing back and forth all day long. I asked Ford, well, do I have to relocate, right? Can I do this job virtually? And they're like, no, you got to move to Detroit. Like you. Well, what a mistake that was. And it wasn't that cut and dry. I'm using it for comic brevity. Again, our company was down to 3 people. If I left, it would have been like one leg of the stool out. We had a lot of commitments to existing clients that I absolutely had to see through. The timing was just wrong, and I wasn't too excited about moving to Detroit. Fast forward about 4 months, we got reconnected. Ford said, we're still interviewing for this position. You know, it was a newly created position. We haven't found the right person yet. Your name keeps coming up. Why don't you at least just come out here and meet with us and humor us? And I started doing some research, and I looked at the leadership team. I looked at Alan and his story as to how he got to Ford. I looked at the product cadence that I saw coming out, and that was projected. I looked at the financials. That was April of 2008 when Ford posted a quarterly profit. It looked like they were well on their way to full profitability by '09, which is what Alan had predicted. And I looked at the way the social media industry was going. I was like, wow, there's some really interesting factors that are about to converge here. So I came out to Dearborn. I met with a whole bunch of people at Ford, and boy, was I sorry that I turned them down earlier. I found people that were so talented and intelligent, and most of all passionate about Ford Motor Company, about this big behemoth of a company, 100+ years old. I thought, wow, to have that passion at a company this size, and to feel it when you walk in the building. You can't manufacture that. That doesn't come along too many times in this life. And I was like, I want to be part of that team. Okay? And a couple months later, you know, there I was. And in the meantime, my wife and I traveled out here. We explored some of the wonderful suburbs. We actually live in Canton now, not too far from here. So, what a great place to raise a family. And, you know, now I'm like Mr. Pro Michigan, trying to be part of the tourism board here to encourage other people to take a look at us, because there really is a lot here.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, for too long, I suffered from the delusions of the East Coast elite that I think were downtrodden on far too often. You know, both coasts, really. They kind of look down their noses at us. Well, you look at what the future has in store for Michigan and the way renewable energy is going to be playing a big part in this state's future, and how companies like Ford are actually contributing to that. You know, the digital revolution that's going on. The fact that we can get a room full of people like this here tonight, you know, I'm no draw. It's about the interest that that we have. Jessica was able to put together not only a chapter of the Social Media Club here in Ann Arbor, but to encourage everybody to come out as a community. That really says something about where this state and where this practice is going. So I'm really excited to be out here and to be part of it and doing my little part to helping advance it.
Can you talk